What Matthew does in the first chapter with this genealogy list is really literary genius. But you have to see this because it reminds us of who this Jesus is. What Matthew does is he presents his biography, beginning with the genealogy, in a distinctive Jewish manner. He takes this thing called gematria. It's a Jewish interpretive method that assigns numbers to each Hebrew letter. Now, this is genius. You got to watch this. Look at this. In the very first sentence, Matthew starts by saying, "This is the genealogy of Jesus," and then he gives three descriptors. Jesus, the Messiah, circle, highlight, underline. The son of David, circle, highlight, underline. The son of Abraham, circle, highlight, underline. When he says Jesus, the Messiah, he's literally saying in Greek, which it was written in, Jesus Christo. Jesus Christ. Christ is not the last name of Jesus. It was a descriptor. In Hebrew, he's saying Yeshua HaMashiach. Christos, Greek, or HaMashiach, Hebrew, both mean the Anointed One. It was a name or a title that was often assigned to kings. So Matthew right away is just saying, this Jesus that I'm writing a biography about, he's the Anointed One. He's the king. And then he adds to that, the son of David, I'm going to come back to that in a moment, the son of Abraham. What he's doing to the Jewish readers, which were most of his readers 2,000 years ago, is he's telling them that 2,000 plus years before, in Genesis 12 and Genesis 15, when God makes this promise to Abraham and he takes him outside of the tent, he says, "Look up into the sky, as many stars as you see in the heavens, that's how many descendants you will have." He's telling his readers 2,000 years ago, Matthew is, that this Jesus is the fulfillment of that promise given to Abraham. But he also says this Jesus, the Anointed One, HaMashiach Christos, Jesus Christ, that he's also the son of David. In 2 Samuel chapter 7, a promise is given, a prophecy is given to David, saying that the long-awaited Messiah, the one who was going to set the people free, would come through the line of David. Now, this is where it's fascinating. David, take out the vowels, it's actually 3 letters in Hebrew. The first letter is assigned the number 4, the second letter is assigned the number 6, and the third letter is assigned the number 4. 4 plus 6 plus 4 equals 14. Now, I know for us, we miss some of this, but we get it. If you grew up loving the New England Patriots, you know who wears the number 12. Well, this would have been like 2,000 years ago if they wore jerseys. You would have seen someone walking around with a 14 and they'd say, "David's our guy! David's our guy!" Watch this. Skip down to verses 16, 17. Here's what it says. "Thus, there were 14 generations in all from Abraham to David, 14 generations from David to the exile to Babylon, and 14 from the exile to the Messiah." 14, 14, 14. Who does he start in the very first sentence saying that this Jesus is a son of David? 14. But watch this. In the very first list of names, it starts there, right in verse 2. Abraham was the father of Isaac, Isaac the father of Jacob, Jacob the father of Judah, and his brother Judah the father of Perez. And then skip down, and we actually see that when it gets done with that first list of 14, it says, "And Jesse the father of King David." Count the names there. Guess what number David is? Got it. 14. See, the Jewish readers 2,000 years ago, by this time reading this genealogy list that we so often think is so boring, would be going, "What?" And then there's 14 given, and then 14 more given. Now, watch this though. This is what's amazing. If you started highlighting how many times it says the father of the father of the father of, there's a couple of women that are mentioned in this genealogy list, but every time it mentions a woman, it will come back to saying, "and the father of." The father of. It mentions a few, but it always goes to the father. So if you looked, and I highlighted it here, look at this. Father, 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 father. You can go all the way down through all these fathers, and then you get to the very end of the list, Jump down to verse 16. And Jacob, the father of Joseph, the husband of Mary, and Mary was what does it say? The mother of Jesus. You see, it begs the question, wait. Who's his father then? Who's his father? That's exactly where Matthew wanted to take his Jewish readers. You see, Jesus was unlike any other person who has ever come on this earth. Because the only answer to who is his father is the God of this universe. See, what Matthew does in page 1 of his biography of Jesus is he displays in multiple ways that this is no ordinary hero. He connects his readers in a brilliant way to a prophecy given over 2,000 years ago, Abraham, and one given over 1,000 years before, David. And in addition, he leads us to this question. He begs this question: who is his father? See, this is the application, the hope for you and I. What we know is what we celebrate at Christmas is that this wasn't just some extraordinary prophet. This wasn't just some extraordinary teacher that was born 2,000 years ago. This was the God of the universe. And the hope that you and I can take away from this is as we move into 2024, there are so many unknowns. We don't know what the economy is going to do. We don't know what's going to happen in our relationships. We don't know what's going to happen with our children. We don't know what's going to happen with our jobs. There are so many unknowns. But what we do know is that we serve a God that 2,000 years ago was born in a miraculous virgin birth. And he is the King of all kings and Lord of all lords. And there's a lot of unknowns for next year, but we do know that we serve the one who says that we are more than conquerors. Hang on to that truth this Christmas season.